Have you ever felt like no matter how good you are to people, it's never enough? You give your time, your attention, your energy, and still, somehow, you end up feeling empty. You start asking yourself, am I the problem? Am I expecting too much? But deep down, you know you're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong people. See, here's what psychology doesn't tell you directly. Most people don't actually listen to understand, to maintain control. That's why communicating with others often feels like walking through a minefield. One wrong step, and suddenly, you're too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But the truth is, you're not too much. You're just speaking a language most people have forgotten. Empathy. The problem is not your kindness. The problem is when you let your kindness turn into self-abandonment. You can be kind without being used. You can be loving without being drained. You can be understanding without tolerating disrespect. Because here's the reality. Every time you say it's fine when it's not, a small part of you stops believing that your feelings matter. And when that happens enough times, you start shrinking yourself just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Psychology calls this fawning behavior. It's when your brain confuses people-pleasing with safety. When your nervous system believes that being liked is more important than being authentic. You say yes when you mean no. You smile when you want to cry. You agree to things that break you, because deep down, you fear being rejected more than being unhappy. But here's the turning point. Real peace never comes from being liked by everyone. It comes from being respected by yourself. You have to rewire your brain to understand this. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors that only open for the right people. Saying no doesn't make you rude. It makes you honest. If someone gets angry because you set boundaries, it means they benefited from you having none. And here's where emotional mastery begins. Stop trying to control how others see you, and start mastering how you respond to how they treat you. When you stop reacting, you shift from being controlled to being in control. Some people will leave when you set boundaries. Let them. They were never meant to stay in a place where accountability exists. Let them call you distant. Let them call you changed. Because yes, you did change. You stopped sacrificing your peace for their comfort. Growth looks like silence sometimes. It looks like saying less, listening more, and realizing not every battle deserves your energy. The most powerful people are not the loudest. They're the ones who mastered the art of choosing peace over reaction. And here's something powerful. You don't have to explain your boundaries to anyone who truly respects you. Respect doesn't need justification. It needs consistency. So, if you want to evolve, learn this simple rule. Respond. Don't react. Reaction comes from ego. Response comes from awareness. When someone disrespects you, don't argue. Observe. Because sometimes silence exposes more truth than confrontation ever could. And remember, you're not here to fix people. You're here to understand yourself. Once you start choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and solitude over fake connections, your life begins to change quietly. People will notice. They'll say, "You've become different." And they'll be right. You finally stopped chasing being understood and started living in alignment with who you really are. True strength isn't in fighting every battle. It's in knowing which ones aren't worth your energy. So here's your challenge. From today on, when someone crosses your line, don't shout. Withdraw your access. When someone manipulates your emotions, don't fight. Observe their pattern. When someone underestimates you, don't prove them wrong. Let your silence and success do it for you. Because when you learn to deal with people from a place of peace instead of pain, you stop playing their game and start living your truth. And that is the real power. Follow me to become powerful.